himself has granted permission for this mission, and the council defers to his wisdom. You set out for the Tenganzi Plateau, where Nirel believes ancient tablets hold the clues to finding the lost tomb of Akarat. Before you leave, Nirel warns you, if she falters, if she looks weird in any way, you must take the Soul Stone and finish what she started, no matter the cost. With Nirel at your side, you search the ruins for the ancient tablets. They reveal the location of the tomb near a place called Samuk. Upon returning to Maka's camp, you discovered it has been attacked by Urivar's burnt knights. They are back in the picture. Although you managed to save Maka, Eru has been taken captive. You decide that before you can continue to the tomb, you must first rescue him. Together with Maka and Nirel, you track down the camp of the burned knights and fight your way through Eru. Eru is badly shaken, but he's alive, and you free him from his captors. And though he remains conflicted about Nirel's path, he agrees to continue with you. As you prepare to leave, Nirel's condition worsens. The corruption of the Soul Stone pulls her deeper into Mephisto's grasp, and she begins to suffer from vivid hallucinations. She pleads with you to stay away, fearing that Mephisto's influence will drive her to harm you. Maka, despite Nirel's warnings, refuses to leave her side. As you plan your next move, you realize the threat of Urivar cannot be ignored. His fanatical pursuit of Nirel and the Soul Stone has become too dangerous. You track him down and confront him in a final battle. Urivar fights with the intensity of a man who believes his cause is just, but you manage to defeat him. As he dies, Urivar recites the prophecy of Rathma, his voice bitter. He speaks of the futility of Inarius's crusade, the path of destruction you now walk. His final words linger as you strike him down. Returning to Nirel and the others, you are met with horror. Nirel has lost control once again, and the corruption within her has burst forth. Unfortunately, Maka, who stayed with her, has been mortally wounded by the surge. With her dying breath, Maka begs Eru not to blame Nirel. Eru, cradling Maka's body, is overcome with grief and anger. He questions the price that Akarat has asked of them and pleads with you to take Nirel and just leave Nahantu. This is strike 2 of Eru losing his mind. Despite Eru's sorrow, you know you cannot turn back now. Nirel, though fragile, insists that the journey to Samuk must continue. The tomb of Akarat holds the only chance of severing her bond with the Soul Stone. Together, you press on. As you explore the dense jungle, Nirel's condition worsens. Her mind drifts in and out of focus, and she begins to doubt the path you are on. Despair threatens to overtake her as she attempts a chant to reveal the way, but nothing happens. The tomb nowhere in sight. In her frustration, Nirel, broken and unsure of herself, begins to question everything she has done. At that moment, Eru returns. His grief over Maka's death is definitely still raw, but he is determined to make sure that all of your sacrifices, of our sacrifices, have not been in vain. He reveals that the chant requires 3 voices. Together, the 3 of you sing the ancient words, and slowly the waters part before you, revealing a hidden path. Akarat's disciples had hidden the tomb well, but now the way forward is clear. You enter the tomb and descend deeper into its ancient corridors. Along the way, you solve riddles and navigate the traps set by Akarat's disciples to protect his final resting place. After all that, you finally reach the burial chamber, where the Vault of Light lies sealed. The Vault of Light is a sacred place, maybe one of the most important places in Sanctuary actually, bathed in a radiant glow that seems to push back the corruption that has followed you. In the center of it all lies the mortal body of Akarat, untouched by time. Now, we're going to be making a full video on Akarat, but in a nutshell, the reason why there's the belief of light is thanks to Akarat. He is the one that preached the values of light and the belief of light, and that we should push against the darkness. And from all his acolytes, different organizations were created with the same idea, and some were deformed. For example, the Cathedral of Light. It started out as a good thing, but ended up as a bad thing. It's also important to state that the body of Akarat is, at this point, revered as one of the biggest relics ever. I mean, imagine if we could find the body of Jesus Christ or something along those lines. And a lot of the Zakarum are still looking out for him. In Diablo 4 especially, you can still find them looking for the body of Akarat. So that's why it's important. Anyway, we'll touch more upon that on the official Akarat video. Back to the Vault of Light. Nirel, trembling, approaches him with the Soulstone in hand. Though she wants to release the burden, of course, the Soulstone still torments her with visions of her dead mother, offering her fleeting moments of comfort that she will lose if she lets it go. She looks to you for strength, and with your support, she places the stone on Akarat's body. A wave of light surges through the chamber as the bond between Nirel and the Soulstone is severed. The connection to Mephisto is finally broken, and for a moment, you feel relief. But that relief is short-lived. Eru, kneeling near Akarat's body, is strangely still. The spirit of Akarat, the lion, steps forward, moving to protect you as Eru's eyes darken. Eru mutters an apology, and in a sudden surge of power, he throws himself backwards, opening a dark rift. The force of the explosion knocks you all to the ground. As you regain your senses, you hear Mephisto's laughter. Nirel immediately notices the Soulstone is gone. Eru, now standing with Akarat's body in his arms, holds the stone in his hand. His expression is full of sorrow as he addresses Mephisto, declaring that he has fulfilled his part of their bargain. Cradling Akarat's body, Eru steps into the rift, disappearing with both the Soulstone and Akarat's remains. Through the rift, Mephisto emerges in his wolf form, larger and more corrupted than ever before. The betrayal has strengthened him, and now he stands before you, ready to unleash his wrath upon Sanctuary. At this heinous revelation, you stand, filled with anger, ready to face him. Mephisto mocks you, drawing attention to the hatred boiling in your blood, a trait inherited from your connection to Lilith, his daughter. He revels in the chaos he has sown, daring you to fight him. The battle is fierce as you fight Mephisto, all while protecting the spirit of Akarat and Nirel. You quickly find yourself outmatched by Mephisto, but thankfully, the spirit of Akarat comes back to his senses and helps you defeat the wolf, although the spirit of Akarat had to sacrifice himself in the process. This was the last remnant of Akarat in Sanctuary, and he is now truly dead and gone, while the wolf was only a shard of Mephisto's true power. After the battle, Akarat says his goodbyes to Nirel, as his spiritual form rises to what we can only imagine would be the high heavens. I wonder if we will ever see him again. It's now time to find Eru and get some answers. You go back to Nahantu and eventually find him. That was lucky. Bloodied and weak. He explains that he knew that Mephisto would eventually break out of the Soulstone and destroy Sanctuary, so he made a deal with Mephisto, where he could help Mephisto get the body of Akarat, but in return, Mephisto would spare Nahantu from the hellish apocalypse to come. With his last effort, he threatens Nirel and she knocks him out, refusing to kill him because she knows what the weight of Mephisto is like on the mind. So this is why I was talking about Eru slowly losing his mind, basically. And you didn't realize it, but when you spoke to him about the fact that Mephisto was trying to bargain with you earlier on, that kind of sowed the seeds of like, we can bargain with Mephisto, I can bargain with Mephisto. Eru understood that the whole story, Diablo, the whole thing is just a cycle. Even if you were to destroy Mephisto right now, he would eventually come back. And if Eru is afraid of one thing, is to lose Nahantu, is for Nahantu to die, for the spirit realm to be destroyed. So he decides that he'll help Mephisto in exchange for the promise from a primeval that they would spare Nahantu from the hellish apocalypse to come. You eventually return to the Heradric Vault, searching for answers after Eru's betrayal and Mephisto's resurgence. As you sift through the scrolls and tomes left behind, you come across notes that Lorath has recently penned. Amongst them, you find references to Tyrael, the former Archangel of Justice, and scattered writings about Rathna's prophecy, a subject Lorath has always dismissed, so it's clear that Lorath has been digging deeper into mysteries even he didn't fully trust. When it comes to Tyrael, I think it's really clear that he's going to come back at some point. I think what Lorath is struggling with here is the fact that he thinks he's failed Tyrael. Where is Tyrael through all of this? He's the protector of mankind, of Sanctuary. What is he doing? One of the more personal notes is addressed to Nirel. In it, Lorath expresses no regret for the choices he made and that he'd go willingly to the tree. Go back to my D4 video to find out what that means. So his words carry the weight of someone who has seen too much yet continues to push forward. As you continue searching, the silence of the vault is broken by footsteps. Nawal, The woman you first met at Lorath's cabin enters. Her presence is a surprise, and she carries a different energy now. Prava has obviously healed her and helped her find her place within the church. And she has come with an invitation from Prava herself, and the memory of her harsh judgment still lingers, but Nirel convinces you that meeting Prava is necessary. After all, there are few allies left, and with Mephisto still at large, you need all the help you can get. Reluctantly, you and Nirel make your way to Lorath's cabin, the place where this journey first began. Prava greets you without the coldness she once held. It seems her demeanor has softened. She quickly inquires about Urivar, asking if you ended his life. When you confirm his death, Prava shows no joy in the outcome, only acknowledgement that his zealotry is no longer a threat. Prava explains her new mission. With Inarius gone and the church in disarray, she has taken it upon herself to rebuild, but she understands the larger threat still looms. Mephisto, though contained for now, remains a danger to all of Sanctuary. Prava expresses no desire for vengeance against Nirel or you, only a focus on preparing for the battle ahead. She admits that while Nirel no longer carries the Soul Stone, her connection to Mephisto and her responsibility in stopping him has not been severed entirely. She believes Nirel must still confront him, and Prava promises her support in whatever form is needed to ensure that Mephisto is defeated once and for all. After Prava leaves, you and Nirel speak in the cabin. It's kind of the outro of all of this. The weight of everything still heavy on both of you, obviously. You reflect on Eru's downfall, questioning if you could have done anything differently. But Nirel reminds you that Mephisto's influence was at work long before you arrived, and Eru's decisions were shaped by the forces beyond your control. Nirel knows the battle against Mephisto is not over. You ask her for one final promise, that when the time comes, you will be the one to kill Mephisto. Now, as the story comes to an end, Lorath's voice begins to echo, his words carrying the weight of reflection. He speaks of the hard choices everyone has been forced to make here. Not just you, but Nirel, Eru, and even himself. He admits that in every story, there is someone cast as the villain, and in the path you've walked, it's impossible to know who will carry that burden when history is written. Lorath reflects on Eru's betrayal, recognizing it for what it was, a decision born from love and despair for his region, for Nahantu, a tragic choice that led him into Mephisto's grasp. Eru had hoped to protect Nahantu in the spirit realm, believing it worth the sacrifice. Even now, Lorath understands that sparing Nahantu came with a price. The rest of the world was left to face Mephisto's inevitable rise, and the age of hatred has begun to take root in Sanctuary. As his voice fades, the scene takes us back beneath the ruins of Trebinko, in the heart of the ancient city's crumbling depth. The body of Akarat now lies motionless on the cold stone floor. His form is still, surrounded by the creeping corruption that seeps into every crevice of the chamber. Slowly, a pool of black corruption, black goo, envelops him. In his chest, the Soul Stone has been embedded. Akarat, the Shepherd of Light, is swallowed by the darkness. In the background, the voice of Mephisto cuts through the silence, cold and mocking. He speaks of Akarat's eternal vigil, a guardian betrayed by those he sought to protect. This is a reference, of course, to Eru. Mephisto's words twist the knife even further, taunting Akarat for his ultimate failure. The very light he served has been corrupted, and for the first time in generations, Mephisto rises in a human vessel, a vessel of hatred. Thank you so much, everybody. I think this is my longest video of all time at this point, but there was so much to cover. I swear I'm barely sleeping at the moment just to get this video out. So if you've made it this far and you want to hear more about Diablo lore and ARPG lore in general, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking the video, and we'll see you in the next one. See you guys.
Hey folks, this is Ranker with another Diablo lore video. Yep, it's finally happening. In this episode, we discuss the reign of terror that befell the town of Tristram and the 3 heroes that came to save the town. This is part 12 in a video series where we explore all the major players in the story of Diablo.